Morning.
Okay, we just ended executive session. We are back into open session. I'm gonna go to number 4 because that's probably the easiest one, and then it'll kind of have something to do with number 3. So number 4 is town building closure in the event of emergency. The prior, you can take them out whenever you're ready. If they're ready. The prior committee, and if you guys have any opposition, please let me know, really relied on the school district. So we follow whatever the school district does. So in case of snow or hurricane or whatever, if the school district is closed, we close all non-public safety buildings. So that would be the library, the COA, and the town hall. If there's early closure, we do the same thing. We do early closure. So if everybody's still okay with that, we don't have to make any changes to the town building closure in the event of an emergency. Is everybody good with that?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, perfect. Number 3.
Lisa, before you continue,
Yep.
what would happen if we have an emergency COVID situation?
We're going,
Right.
that's number 3. So we're gonna go to number 3 now, because the weather part of that is one thing. Let's go to number 3. Day-to-day operations along with a COVID closure would be part of number 3, right? If somebody were to come down
Same
with
thing.
COVID. Yep. So number 3, Tim had a question as into if somebody contracted COVID while in the town hall, what would we do? And who would make that decision? I would say in all cases, we should try to have an emergency meeting ASAP, right? We still have that leeway in having an emergency meeting should we need to. But if there's like
No.
I don't know, if the electricity went out or if something happened at town hall, who would make the decision as to what should happen? So I'll leave Tim to explain a little bit more.
Basically, the board has a couple options. You could basically, delegate it to one person, whether it be a staff member or one board member. It's probably the easiest way to go about it. But it's up to you guys exactly how you want to do that.
It rarely ever happens because most of the instances we have are really weather related. Rarely do we have anything, that comes down. And also, COVID also taught us that we can work from home. So we can actually maybe close town hall, but actually have people still work from home. So, at least we're doing the job that we're supposed
Lisa.
to do. Yep.
On a routine basis for what we're just talking about, the town administrator should be the one to do this, right? I mean, we only have a few weeks, hopefully.
Right.
We won't have that, but going forward, the town administrator should be doing.
Absolutely. And that's what it says. It says day-to-day operations in the absence of the town administrator. So we're only talking, no. We're only talking 3 weeks because January 4th is the start date. So we're not talking, and I don't see anything happening between now and then. So, I mean, if one of us wants to do it in concert with Tim, that's fine. It doesn't, I have no druthers.
I mean, personally, I would say let Tim do it in conjunction with the board, our board, or just the chairperson of the board.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay. Do you want to make a motion to have Tim and the chair of the Board of Selectmen make those until the town administrator is on board?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Second. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Grunwald,
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Selectman Matthews,
Yes.
and Selectman Pacheco.
Yes.
Now, is that going to extend to the bills? That was the other, and other day-to-day documents too. That was the other major question I had.
Yeah, that's, it goes through so many other people. I'm fine with that if Trevor and George are all right with that.
Yes.
I mean, okay. So now we have minutes to approve November 16th, November 18th, November 23rd, and November 30th. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion granted.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Grunwald,
Yes.
Selectman Matthews,
Yes.
and Selectman Pacheco.
Yes. Okay, I'll turn it over to personnel, and I have something to add to personnel once we're done.
Okay. So now is this number 6 just kind of discuss what we've decided to do, Tim, just to make sure?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So Cheryl and Jackie, hello. How are we doing? So what we decided is we're just gonna we think we should be safe with just keeping Cheryl as assistant town clerk, and you should be able to do all the duties. We ran this by our attorneys. Jackie, I know you sent me some another kind of interpretation or part of the law. I think we're gonna be okay. That's what, we can only rely on kind of the opinions of the attorneys here. So hopefully we will be all set. I think this approach will kind of make things just the transition easier, kind of give you, Cheryl, a little more kind of I don't know, confidence or a little more stability in what to come in the future. So I guess that's the way we kind of are going to go forward with this. And yeah, I think that's all I have, right?
And then the board,
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't know what I.
you can explain if you want. Go ahead.
So we're talking about the compensation part of this. Yeah. So Cheryl, what we're going to do here is, and I don't know exactly the technical things we have to do to get this done. So, but we're going to bring you up to kind of what your pay would have been if you were the town clerk for the time between now and the election.
Okay, thank you.
Does that work for you?
Yes, that does. Thank you.
So Cheryl, the way we were thinking about this is that when we go to town meeting, we don't compensate the person, we compensate the position. And town meeting already approved the position of town clerk at X amount of dollars. So even though you're still assistant, you assume the role of town clerk. So there should be no bargaining at that point. It should just, it is what it is. So so the next step is that we have to, Trevor is going to work with Joe Fair and Tim for an MOA. Then we have to go to the union for them to approve the MOA, and then we come back to the board to sign off on the MOA. So those are moving parts, but everything should be all set, and you should be good to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to the board. And I just wanted to say thank you also to David Dimanche. Today is your last day, I believe, and you're going to be retiring. So I just wanted to thank you for your service to the town of Freetown, and to the employees of Town Hall and other town employees. Thank you, David.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep, and I echo everything too, David. It's been a pleasure, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
All right. So the next number 7 is recession of the December 7th, 2020 vote, appointing Cheryl Estrella as burial agent, census liaison, local planning committee master. Oh, I'll make that motion. Sorry, Trevor, I'm taking over. I don't mean to. I was just on a roll. I did not mean to do that. I'll make that motion though.
So do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Before you guys vote, I just want to explain what exactly that is.
Yeah. I screwed up.
I actually screwed up.
Oh, really?
It was all me. I had the wrong date on there for this vote. It was for Monday's vote. So this is just cleaning it up. We're going to take it back, and then the next item we're going to be correcting it with the right date.
Okay.
So we're not taking jobs away from Cheryl. Sorry, Cheryl.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Grunwald,
Yes.
Selectman Pacheco,
Yes.
and Selectman Matthews.
Yes.
All right.
All right, now I'll do 8. So I'll entertain a motion to appoint Cheryl Estrella as burial agent, census liaison, local emergency planning committee, and master public records assess officer, effective January 1st, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Grunwald,
Yes.
Selectman Pacheco,
Yes.
and Selectman Matthews.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So next, I guess, the discussion of assistant for public health nurse to aid the COVID-19 community contact tracing. I saw that email that came across. I guess just kind of want to discuss this.
So Lori reached out, and she's having a hard time keeping up with the tracing. It's really getting away from her. She needs help in that area, whether it be data entry or whether it be another nurse to help her along the way. That would be under her. If we also, Mary from the Board of Health has applied for a grant, and I think she has received that grant. Once we get the grant money and the paperwork for that, the board of selectmen has to sign off how we're going to use it. We also have COVID CARES money, which would fall under Gary Sylvia as the emergency director. So that wouldn't need board approval, but I think it's still important for all of us to know exactly how overwhelmed Cheryl is.
Yeah.
Cheryl, I know you're overwhelmed too. I mean, how overwhelmed Lori is and how she definitely needs some help. I think it's really important to keep up with the contract tracing around here. So that's what this is for, just for us to pretty much approve the assistant for the public health nurse and use of the grant when and if that becomes available. So I'll make a motion to that fact.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Selectman Grunwald,
Yes.
Selectman Pacheco,
Yes.
and Selectman Matthews.
Yes.
I wanted to bring this up under personnel. The board, I think several weeks ago, asked, or the highway surveyor asked the board to approve 2 people to be, hired for seasonal operations, especially winter months are coming on. There was no money, or we decided to do a transfer from the reserve fund. From what I hear, that was denied. So I'd like the personnel chair to look into that matter. I'm not sure if it was denied because there's money still available in the budget, and once that money is spent down, then ask for a transfer. I'm not, usually that's how it goes, but I'm not sure why it was. So if you could just look into that, that would be amazing.
And I was reached out to about this previous to the vote. They had, so I'll follow up and see what we can do. I mean, I kind of try to explain the situation. I know there's this was another kind of weird, lot of moving parts. So I'll reach out and try to figure out what to do about this.
All right, and also on the next agenda, under personnel, we're gonna have to discuss what we did last year with the highway surveyor, making sure that he has his truck, his phone, and everything he needs for plowing.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of snow plows, while we're on the topic, we have a couple different contractors that came in. They want to add second trucks to their existing contracts. I don't know if that's a problem for the board or if they want me to get whole new contracts for them.
No.
I'm all set.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I know that Chuck is still looking for more snowplow drivers. The board hasn't given any indication whether or not they're going to accept any more snowplow drivers. So I don't know if you want me to tell Chuck he needs to formally request or just continue what he's doing.
I mean, where do we stand in line, like compared to previous years?
I believe we're about 28 trucks right now. Last year, he likes around somewhere in the mid 30s. So we're a little bit behind, but not too far.
Yeah.
And last year, we didn't have any seasonal employees, so this year we're adding 2. So I think we
I
need to.
believe the seasonal employees are just for town properties, however.
Yeah,
believe
but
that was
it
the
still
intent.
alleviates, I mean,
Right.
it still alleviates somebody and puts them on the road instead of maintaining properties. So, I mean, it still helps somewhat. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess.
I basically just want a little bit of guidance on whether or not the board's even going to entertain extra contracts, or if I should just tell them what it is.
Maybe just put it in writing so we have something
Okay.
to go off of.
Have them formally ask for it. Okay.
Are we not short right now?
We're short by a few of them based on previous year's numbers. Yes.
Wouldn't it be prudent to let him have what he's requesting at this point, since we are short?
Well,
Yeah.
he isn't formally requesting anything yet. He's just kind of still soliciting.
Well,
That's terrible. Still asking for snowplow drivers.
So George, I'm only saying that once he gets that, he should put it formally in writing. We shouldn't sign off on anything until we have what he needs in writing.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all. I'm not saying no.
Okay.
All right. I think we're good to go, right?
I just have one quick thing, if less than a minute. I got a call yesterday from Jim Levesque at Stop and Shop, and they're willing to donate a trailer full of food. And they're willing to drop that trailer off at the highway department so that we could run the food bank out of the trailer. It's going to involve the way they package it. They don't sort it out. What they do is they take the banana boxes and they just throw different items in as they, you know, it's a dented can or something nearing expiration. So we're going to need volunteers to help us with that. And we're hoping that maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks, hopefully before Christmas, we'd be able to run a food bank, like a couple-hour program, you know, where people could drive up, not income-based, strictly if you need it, you got it. And we need people to break up the boxes, to pack them into boxes. I'm going to continue with that, just to let you know, as a volunteer, because it's something I feel strongly about. And so I'm going to continue working on that on the side. I'm working with Lisa was part of it, but also Rick and God, I'm drawing a blank on her name. Jean Fox and Greg O'Brien. So
That's great.
all right.
It's so awesome. And David, you really spearheaded this. It had nothing to do with me or anybody. You really took over this, and
It was actually Jean that the thought of it, and I just been
both
helping
of you.
her.
No, both of you worked really hard on that. So thank you so much, because you are absolutely right. This is something that is needed. And you know, I feel strongly as well about this. Yeah, maybe put something on the website once we get the details of volunteers and stuff.
Yeah, we
put
need
it on the website.
volunteers. That's the big thing. We're gonna need people to help us to separate all the items in the boxes in the trailer. Literally, you know, a lot of food. So, and then break them down into smaller packages that we could then distribute.
I think that's awesome, and I'd be more than happy to help. And I'll even have my family sign up.
Oh, there you go.
I'll sign them up for you.
Don't tell Bob until the day of.
All right, that's it.
All right, thank you again. Thank you for everything, David. You know, see that beach behind you? I hope you have lots of time on that
I'm
beach.
planning on it. As soon as I get that vaccine, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion granted.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Selectman Grunwald,
Yes.
Selectman Matthews,
Yes.
and Selectman Pacheco.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day,
Good.
people.
Good.
Bye.
Bye.